Hey everyone, it's John Robinson with DMR Studios. I'm going to talk today about importing and exporting DWG DXF files. So if I go to my file, click on File, I'm going to come down to Import, click Import, and go all the way up to Import Single DXF/DWG. Select that. So I've already got one in here, but if you go in there, let's say I find Orlando. I'm going to take the Hyatt Regency, that's one you saw. You can see here it's a DWG file, and I'm going to open that up. It's saying right now it's going to use the detected, which is inches, which is what I'm looking for. Click OK. There you go. You can see import succeeded. Click OK on that. So here it is. I've got my shell of the Hyatt Regency Orlando, the Orlando Ballroom. If you go to your layers, you'll see these pages on top of each other. Click on layers. You'll see right now what it's done is it's brought it in as a different scale. So here's my regular layers that I have in there, and here's a new layer it's just brought over. Generally when you bring one over, it will actually put it in its own scale, its own layer. But I want to change that scale so it matches everything else. So if I double click on it, it opens up this edit design layers. I'm going to click on scale. You see right now it says 1/200. I'm going to go to 1/8 inch scale, which is 96. I'm going to select all layers. You don't have to, it's going to just do that layer, but I want to just make sure all my layers are exactly the same. So all layers are going to be 96. Click OK, and then click OK. And you can see right now what it's done is it's changed the scale to 196. Now, when I brought this in, what it's done is it's made it the dominant layer, so it's actually on top of all my other layers, which means this is the first one that's seen in there. Generally, when I do a shell, I like that to be my last layer, so it's underneath everything else. Sometimes I'll bring it forward, sometimes I'll just keep it at the back. You know, I may need to see rigging points, you know, after I put a truss in there, so I'll have to bring it forward to make sure that's over the top of it. But if I go to my number one, you see how it's the cursor's just changed to like a page there. That means if I hold down my left click and pull her all the way down, let's put it underneath 15 and then release it, what it's done is it's made that the last layer, which means anything I draw, this will be underneath it. So I'm going to click OK. I'll just show you quickly how that works. If I go into, say, my staging, so I'm on my staging layer right now, I'm just going to draw a box. You can see how that's over the top of it because that's on my staging layer. But if I say went in, clicked on my layers, and took this one above staging, so I'll take it just straight above it. So you can see Hyatt Regency is just above staging. Click OK. You see how it's put it behind the actual layer itself. Well, I'm going to go back. I'm going to change that as the last layer right now. So pull it down. She's underneath. Click OK. You can see she's above. So let's select that. I'm just going to leave that out. So that's importing a layer in there. This now allows me to draw whatever I want in there, and they're all going to be the right scale. You can do a quick check of that by going to your dimension tool. And let's say I'm going to check, you know, one of the doors. So I'm going to click on the edge of the door, come down. You can see the door, just about a 6-foot door. Let's delete that out. So I know that I'm drawing on the right scale, and I can see all my motor points in there. You can see it's a rigging point right over there. So I'm actually selected on that, so I can actually see all my points and what they're actually representing right now in there. There's a chandelier. So I'm all good. I've drawn whatever I need. Let's say I draw a quick box in there. There's my stage. Now what I want to do is I want to export this out. So I want to export it as a DWG. So I go to my file, go to my export, click export. I'm going to go up all the way up to export DXF DWG. Click that. See what it's doing right now is it's telling me the file format it's doing right now is DWG 2013 through 17. This is typically the one I'll use. There is different versions where I could go to the newer version, which is 18, 19, 20. I generally stay on the 13 through 17. Reason being is some people are still drawing on older AutoCAD formats, so they can definitely read this one. And if you're drawing on a new one, it will still read it. It will still actually read it. If you're a new one, it will read an older one. But if they're on an older one and I do a newer one, it won't read forward. So I'll select 13 through 17. You see right now it's saying export as DXF DWG layers, all of my layers in there. So it's going to read all of the layers I've actually just created within that diagram, and it's going to export them all as AutoCAD layers. So come over, I'm just going to click OK. It's going to say whereabouts you want to put it. Let's put it on my desktop, and let's call this ZZ Show, and let's just save her over there. So she's just saved over. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually exit out of this one. Go Word. I'm just going to go to File. I'm going to make a new one, new document. Here's my new document. I'm going to go to File, Import, DXF DWG, and you can see I've got my ZZZ show. Click on that. Here it is, and let's open her up. Detected inches, that's correct. Click OK. Just giving me a font replacement. So some fonts that were in the DWG that I originally did, they want to replace it with the Arial font. I'm okay with that. Click OK. Click OK, and you can see here's what we just created right in there right now. So I've got my stage that I just built in there and any kind of diagram. So that's importing, exporting DWG DXF files. Again guys, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, any functions on Vectorworks, or if there's something you just want to know just how to do better, just please give me a shout. I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye.